Welcome back, and if this is your first time watching, my name's Brandon, and I sell men's clothing on eBay. This is day 48 of the What Sold series, where I show you all of my daily eBay sales. Let's not waste any time, let's jump right into the sales. The first sale of the day are these Levi's 513 men's jeans. They sold in 2 days for a best offer of $10 plus shipping. My buddy actually brought these over to the house with a bunch of other items. I think I only ended up listing like 3 out of the 15 or 20 items that he brought. Most of them were like Aeropostale jeans and stuff, but yeah, so these had no cost. He let me just have them for free. So, yep, a free $10. Thanks, buddy. Sale number 2 was a Dixon flannel in a men's 2XL tall. This one was called the Starboard. It sold in 8 days for a best offer of $80 plus shipping. I really needed this one. The Dixon flannels, a lot of them are selling like in that $30 to $35 range, which is not great because, as you know, I paid $27 each for them. So after fees, I'm about breaking even on most of those. I need more sales of the higher dollar ones. That way I can be making that profit. And like I said before, all I'm trying to do is average a $10 profit on all of the Dixon flannels that I picked up. And hopefully more sales like this will help me get there. So number 3 was a Smartwool button-up shirt in a men's large. And this one was a merino wool blend. It took 15 days to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $30 plus shipping. I've only found Smartwool a few times. I'm sure most of you guys know it's a great brand to find. Keep your eye out for it if you can. It doesn't look like anything too crazy, so there's the label. And what you're really looking for is their more technical outdoor pieces. But even just a basic button-up like this can still sell for $30 and really quickly. Sale number 4 was another Dixon flannel. This was one of the women's ones in a size small. This one was called the Pinhead. It sold in 12 days for a best offer of $30 plus shipping. Like I said, this is where a lot of these are selling in that $30-ish range. And at that price, I am probably breaking even. I could even be losing $1 or $2 depending on how far it's shipping and how I have to ship it. So hopefully more of the $80 sales. So number 5, one of my favorite bread and butter brands and items from the brand to sell are J. Crew button-down chambray shirts. This one sold in 1 day for a best offer of $18 plus shipping. You can find these at so many thrift stores. Even if you're picking them up for $5, $6, $7, even $8, you could still turn a $10 profit on most of them. This one sold for $18. They sell in that $18 to $25 range super quickly and super easily. Sale number 6 was a Pendleton wool flannel shirt in a men's XL. This one was called the Field Shirt. It sold in 4 days for full price $50 plus shipping. Pendleton's a great brand to find and sell. I sell quite a bit of it, especially this time of year. It does even better. Sale number 7 was a Rain Spooner Hawaiian shirt. It sold in 3 days for a best offer of $40 plus shipping. This one did have some map and some pictures of the Hawaiian Islands on it. Usually the ones that have the maps are really great. This isn't actually one of the map ones, but it did have some map features of it, so I thought it would do pretty well, and I was right. It sold for $40 in 3 days. Sale number 8 was a Rag & Bone button-up shirt in a men's medium. It sold in 8 days for a best offer of $15 plus shipping. This was actually a return, so this is actually the second time that it sold. The first time it sold, I want to say it sold for maybe even like $25 to $35. It sold for quite a bit more, and I can't remember the reason that the buyer returned it, but I noticed when they returned it that one of the buttons was missing, and I went back and confirmed from the previous pictures that the button was there. The buyer didn't say anything about the button when they returned it. They didn't say they were returning it because of the button. I think they just said it didn't fit or something. And so I'm not sure what happened. But, you know, sometimes those kind of things happen. So what? You lose a few bucks. I mean, as long as you're selling a decent amount of items, 1 or 2 items that gets messed up or the buyer is untruthful about the return, it doesn't matter. Don't let it upset you. Just move on. And I was still able to sell for $15. Sale number 9 was a Rain Spooner Christmas Hawaiian shirt. This wasn't a youth size small. It took about 7 months to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $24 plus shipping. Sale number 10 was a pair of Lululemon pants in a men's 31 by 32, so a bit of a smaller size. It sold in 17 days for full price $40 plus shipping, and that was with a little flaw in it. Lululemon pants are becoming one of my favorite things to sell. I usually don't like selling pants. I don't think that they're very worth it, especially with my model where I'm only making $10 average per item, give or take a little bit. But with pants, I do usually want to make a little bit more. But if they are something like a Lululemon pant that's going to move super quickly and be super easy, then I might be willing to bring it back to my normal standards. So number 11 was a Mackhorn Legend polo shirt. This one sold in about 6 months for a best offer of $10 plus shipping. After it's been listed that long, I'm happy to take any reasonable offer, especially for a brand that I don't normally sell. I'm guessing I saw this, I looked it up, I thought the sell-through rate was probably better than it really was, and this is what happens. It ended up sitting for a while, and then I sold it, probably to make only a few dollars profit on it. But I won't be looking for this brand going forward. So number 12 was a Carhartt Western shirt. This one did have the yoke on the top of it, and it was a pearl snap, so I would definitely consider that Western. Not like, it's a little bit different than their workwear shirts. This one sold in 5 days for a best offer of $25 plus shipping. So number 13 was a Lululemon polo shirt in a men's large. It took 17 days to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $15 plus shipping. It did have a little flaw on the bottom back of it. Nothing too significant though. So I'm kind of surprised that this didn't sell. I guess I only listed it for $20, so $15 probably about right actually. So number 14 was a Woolrich wool sweater in a men's XL. It did have like a Fair Isle pattern a little bit, and then had some hearts on it, and then these reindeers. But it sold in 7 days for a best offer of $50 plus shipping. Woolrich sweaters can do good. You are going to want to look for ones that have prints on them like this. They're usually the ones that do the best. So number 15 was a Toes on the Nose polo shirt in a men's large. It took 8 months to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $15 plus shipping. Toes on the Nose isn't that great of a brand to sell, so I was just happy to accept the offer and move on from it. So number 16, this is a great brand to sell, Vuori. It was just a men's t-shirt in a size small. It took 13 days to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $15 plus shipping. If I was willing to hold out maybe 30 days to 60 days, I'm sure I could have just listed this at $19.95 with no offers, and it probably would have sold, but I'm happy to just move on. I'm sure I didn't pay much for it, at most like $7, so if nothing else, I probably doubled my money. So number 17 was a Scully Western shirt, and it wasn't a women's large, so it had a lot of things going for it. It was snap button. The snaps of the button had like so much detail inside of them themselves. Then it had all this embroidery with these cowboys and bulls, and it also had the smile pockets. So I knew it was a significant piece, but unfortunately it wasn't a women's, and I wasn't sure how well it was going to sell both price and quickly. I don't sell a lot of women's stuff, so like I said, I wasn't exactly sure, but I was very happy to see that it sold in 4 days for a best offer of $42 plus shipping. It actually makes me really curious if this was a men's shirt, how much more could it have sold for? Could it have sold for $60 or $70? That seems kind of crazy, but usually that's kind of like the ratio for women's to men's, Western shirts. It's probably going to sell for at least 50% more, so who knows? Hopefully I'll find one like this in a men's soon. Sale number 18 in the last sale of the day was a Vineyard Vines polo shirt. This one did have the whale logo on the front as well as a little pocket, so it was a little bit different. And it sold in 7 months for a best offer of $15 plus shipping. Vineyard Vines is an okay brand to sell if you can get your cost of goods super low on it, because in order to move it in a timely manner, you do need to price it down quite a bit. This was priced a little bit too high. That's what made it take 7 months to sell. If I would originally just price this at $14.95 plus shipping, or maybe even like $13.95 plus shipping, then it probably would have sold within a month or so. So if I would have just done that, maybe even price it at $13 or $14 with no offers, and then I could have probably sold it a lot quicker. That's it for the sales. Let's go ahead and jump into those numbers. On October 18th, we sold 18 items for a total gross sales of $673.12, giving us an average sale price of $37.40. It's nice to see my sales back to normal after yesterday, so always happy to have just normal sales. Anyways, the selling costs and the net sales are always inaccurate, so let me show you guys what they really are. The selling costs for the day were $202.98. The breakdown for that is $80.23 in eBay final value fees, $106.01 in shipping labels, and $16.74 in promoted listing fees. 7 of the 18 sales came via promoted listings. I promote all my items at 5%. I'm happy to pay any extra fees associated to get those sales. Now, if we take away the selling costs and the taxes and fees collected by eBay away from the gross sales, that'll give us our net sales amount of $441.74. We still need to take away our cost of goods. I'm now using a cost of goods of $13.21. So if we times that by the 18 items that we sold, that'll give us a total cost of goods for the day of $237.78. If we take that away from the net sales, that'll give us our net profit for the day of $203.96. Like I said, back to our average. I'm happy to be here. As long as we keep trucking along as our average, and our average keeps going up month over month, then I'm happy with what we're doing here, and it's all worth it. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow for day 49 of the What Sold series. Peace.